Cameron Hogwood. Interviews. Comment. Shane Warne. Family offered state funeral while MCG honors legend following death. Victoria's Minister for Tourism and Sport Martin Pakula also confirmed that the Great Southern Stand at the Melbourne Cricket Ground is set to be renamed as the SK Warne Stand in honor of the legendary bowler. Share. This is a modal window. Unsupported location. The video you are trying to watch cannot be viewed from your current country or location. The family of Shane Warne have been offered a state funeral by Victoria Premier Daniel Andrews in the wake of the cricketing icon's sudden death. Warne died at the age of 52 on Friday after a suspected heart attack while in Koh Samui, Thailand. Recommended. 1/5. Shane Warne, former Australia cricketer, dies at the age of 52. Read more. Recommended by. The Australian Legends Management released a statement explaining that medical staff had been unable to revive Warne after he was found unresponsive in his. Shane Warne. Cricket's genius, England's scourge. Strauss. Warne greatest showman, Root. He was a massive idol. Atherton. Warne had raw cricketing intelligence in spades. Share. This is a modal window. Unsupported location. The video you are trying to watch cannot be viewed from your current country or location. Tributes have since poured in for Warne, who revolutionized the sport for spinners while being one of the sharpest and most compelling minds in the game. Shane Warne didn't just inspire a cricket generation, he defined it, said Andrews, the Premier of the Australian state of Victoria. To us, he was the greatest, but to his family, he was so much more. Our hearts are breaking for Shane's family and friends, and they are in the thoughts of all. I have offered a state funeral to his family so Victorians can pay tribute to his legacy and contribution to our state, community and country. Thai police, citing information from his family, say Warne had experienced chest pains prior to his death and that he had a medical history of asthma and some heart issues. Utana Sirasambat, superintendent at the Beaufort police station on Koh Samui, explained Warne had seen a doctor about his heart. He added that Warne's body would be moved to Surat Thani on the Thai mainland on Sunday for autopsy, but declined to comment when questioned on the likely cause of death. The leg spinner collected 708 test wickets in 145 matches, second highest in history, and 1,001 international wickets in total, including 293 in 194 one-day internationals before calling time on his Australia career in 2007. He famously delivered the ball of the century to dismiss Mike Gatting at Old Trafford in 1993. Warne to be honoured at Melbourne Cricket Ground. Victoria's Minister for Tourism and Sport Martin Pakula also confirmed that the Great Southern Stand at the Melbourne Cricket Ground is set to be renamed as the SK Warne Stand in honour of the great. Share. This is a modal window. Unsupported location. The video you are trying to watch cannot be viewed from your current country or location. We will be renaming the Great Southern Stand the SK Warne Stand and will be doing that as soon as we possibly can, said Pakula said. I can think of no finer tribute to the greatest cricketer this state has produced than to rename the stand the SK Warne Stand, and no matter whatever happens to that stand in the future, whether it's rebuilt, refurbished, renovated, it will remain the SK Warne Stand in perpetuity because his legend will live in perpetuity. All 40 of Shane Warne's 2005 Ashes wickets. World reacts to legendary Shane Warne's passing. Shane Warne's ball of the century. Cricket Australia chairman Dr. Lachlan Henderson noted that renaming the stand would seem a very appropriate acknowledgement of Warne. He's been an icon of the game, obviously with St Kilda Cricket Club, Victoria, our Australian team, for so many years. He also played cricket all around the world, so it's a very fitting tribute, he added. Right here this morning, driving past a junior cricket ground in Victoria, I saw a young leg spin bowler bowl a beautifully flighted ball that beat the bat, and I am sure someone was looking down on that young bowler as he embarks on his career. Hussain. Warne the greatest ever. Share. This is a modal window. Unsupported location. The video you are trying to watch cannot be viewed from your current country or location. Sky Sports Cricket's Nasser Hussain. For me, he was arguably the greatest cricketer to ever play the game. The game is about entertaining people, and there was never a dull moment when Shane Warne had the ball in his hand. He was absolutely genius. Leg spin was a dying art before he burst onto the scene. We had never heard of a flipper, and then suddenly he used to set us up with it. Head bowl us a ball that was short and you'd think, Shane has lost it today, and then the very next ball was the flipper and it was through us. He was an outstanding share. This is a modal window. Unsupported location. The video you are trying to watch cannot be viewed from your current country or location. When Australia really needed him in that 2005 Ashes series, when England were all over them and they were crumbling, there was one Aussie that stood up and said not today. He got wickets by the shed load, he got runs by the shed load too, and he showed a lot of fight and a lot of character. Some people are brilliant at the game, some people are genius, some people have fight. Shane Warne had everything in abundance. He was also a very, very smart cricketer, as we've seen in the commentary box since he retired from the game. Atherton, Warne had raw cricketing intelligence in spades. In giving his reaction to Friday's shocking news, Sky Sports Cricket's Michael Atherton said Warne, a longtime adversary on the pitch and colleague in the commentary booth, had raw cricketing intelligence in spades. Hearing the news, I was totally stunned. I don't think I've ever been more shocked in my life, Atherton told Sky Sports from Antigua. I don't think many people read the game better than he did, and of course he had great character and a way of putting it across. But all the intelligence you saw as a player, I think he's the most intelligent bowler I played against, came across in his commentary. And using the word intelligence, I am not talking about a levels and that kind of thing, but raw cricketing intelligence which he had in spades. He was a fabulous bowler. Holding. Warne changed spin bowling. Share. This is a modal window. Unsupported location. The video you are trying to watch cannot be viewed from your current country or location. Michael Holding, another former colleague of Warne's at Sky Sports, added that the Australian changed spin bowling forever. Yes, Shane Warne was a great cricketer, a great commentator, knew the game and was very insightful, but he was also a very kind person who was willing to talk to anyone, from any country, about the game and assist them. This is such a loss, an extremely sad loss, and my heart goes out to his family and close friends. I am still in shock, believe me. Before Shane Warne came along, a lot of spin bowlers were around and came along and got some wickets, but nobody really looked up at them as great match winners. This man on his own changed the outlook of people with regards to spin bowlers. Strauss. Extraordinary Warne was greatest showman. Share. This is a modal window. Unsupported location. The video you are trying to watch cannot be viewed from your current country or location. Sir Andrew Strauss, who famously fell to Warne during the 2005 Ashes in what became known as the Edgbaston Ripper, said, he was literally the greatest showman. There will be other cricketers whose records that might be as good as his, but no one played the game in the way that he did. It was the flamboyancy, the great aura that he had as a cricketer, his enthusiasm for the game, the incredible competitive spirit he had, and then of course, the extraordinary skills that he had in those magical fingers of his. It was the greatest challenge that I ever had as a cricketer to face up against him, and I am sure there are countless other cricketers who would say the same thing. You were playing the Grand Master of the game and he made you know it as well. Cummins. Warne, a once-in-a-century cricketer. Current Australia Test captain Pat Cummins said, Warne was an all-time great, a once-in-a-century type cricketer, and his records will live on forever. We all grew up watching Warne, idolizing him. We had posters of him on the wall and had his earrings. We love so much about Warne, his showmanship, charisma and tactics. He just willed himself and the team around him to win games for Australia, and above all else his incredible skill as a leg spinner. So many guys in this team and squad who still hold him as a hero, their all-time favorite player, and the loss that we're all trying to wrap our heads around is huge. It's been a really tough couple of days for Australian cricket after the passing of Rod Marsh. We just wish the best to both families, too. Shanice parents and his kids. The game was never the same after Warne emerged, and the game will never be the same after his passing. Rest in peace, King.